Alright, y'all. So another episode in the books, and this is gonna be a rant. This isn't gonna be a review. This is gonna be my raw thoughts, period. I'm not really trying to, dissect what is going on, because what has been going on, has already been a fucking issue for the longest. I'll pretty much be repeating myself, and for that simple fact, I'm just gonna get straight to, basically just about the episode in general, man. Jiren, he powers up or whatever, and they got less than 5 minutes, and Vegeta, he pretty much, puts him on Front Street and tells him, yo, you waited till everybody else on your team going to get for real. And then Vegeta proceeds to go Super Saiyan Blue beyond it after a taunt from Jiren. Now, this is an issue for the simple fact that at the end of the last episode, he was stated, pretty much they told us that he had no energy left. So literally at the very beginning of this episode, keep in mind the final explosion happened at the end of the episode. The end of the episode was basically Vegeta in the crater. You know what I'm saying? Episode continued from there on the next episode. So right off the bat, man, I was just I literally just bust out laughing. I don't really take this shit for real no more, man. I haven't in a minute, but it's to the point now where it's literally just some bullshit, man. They don't even try anymore. They haven't in a while, but it's blatantly obvious, man. Now, how in the fuck? I feel really insulted, man, because these episodes come out weekly, but they expect us to fucking forget that literally at the end of the last episode, they said that Vegeta had no energy, and now, he transformed back into Super Saiyan Beyond Blue, or Super Saiyan Blue 2, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But yeah, I know it's been an ongoing issue, but it's really, that was really apparent what they were doing, literally at the start of the episode. So, another thing I don't like is that, he went Super Saiyan Blue 2 again in the episode, but much later, after, a skirmish or whatever with, Goku, Vegeta, and Android 17. And it's the thing too, man, Android 17 keeping up with Jiren and, with Goku and Vegeta, and they supposed to be way beyond, what they were before, especially Vegeta. He's supposed to be beyond that. Jiren's, he's beyond that, and Goku has Kaioken stacked on top of it. How is this nigga Android 17 hanging in there, man? And if that wasn't good enough, man, this nigga Android 17 is literally the only person in the tournament to put any kind of scratch or dent, whatever, on Jiren. Think about that for a minute. Hit didn't do it. And that nigga could alter time and shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Vegeta couldn't do it with his final flash. Goku couldn't do it with the spirit bomb. Who else? Who else was fighting? It was probably one or two other people that fought Jiren, but they couldn't do shit either, right? So why is it that Android 17 all of a sudden can? And they used the whole, he snuck up on Jiren, and that's why he was able to actually damage him a little bit. Man, that is some bullshit, man. That is some bullshit. Because literally in the same tournament, Hit literally came out of nowhere after Jiren beat Goku. He came out of nowhere, and Jiren literally caught that dude and said, what business you had with me, or some shit like that. So I don't want to hear that shit, man. I don't want to hear that shit, man. Another thing, man, I ain't like was Jiren killing Android 17, man. And the thing is, man, this whole scene that I'm touching on, it's got so many flaws, it's laughable. I literally, first of all, before they even got to that scene, 17 was pushing Jiren back. He was pushing him back. His feet was sliding and everything, you know what I'm saying? At 17, but holding his own against Jiren better than anybody else on the floor. That shit crazy. But yeah, back to like him, you know, self-destructing or whatever. Well, that's what the narrators want us to think, but I'm gonna pretty much debunk that after this. Now, Jiren or whatever, he's in his feelings, and I'm gonna get to that later. Why he's in his feelings. And he fires like a big blast at 17. The blast is so powerful that it's clearly implied that if it hits the way that it is, it'll wipe out not only 17, but also Vegeta and Goku, and you know, probably Frieza too. So to remedy this situation, he, you know, blows himself up, but they mark it as a self-destruct. Now the thing about it is, dog, they literally at the end of Z, not at the end of Z, at the end of the Cell games, Krillin wanted to wish Android 18 back as a human or some shit, and the dragon said that, you know, he can't do it, beyond his power or some corny like that. So then Krillin, he wished that Android 17 and 18 just didn't have the bombs in their bodies anymore, and the dragon did that. Now, in between that time with the Boo saga and, you know, Frieza coming back with shenanigans and the whole, you know, introducing the multiverse, it has never been implied that Android 17 and 18 had a bomb in their body, you know, again. So I want to know, what in the fuck is this shit, man? Why are they saying he self-destructed? And even if he did self-destruct, he had no other fucking choice. You know, Jiren should be fucking disqualified. He used an attack way more powerful than 17, to the point where 17 literally either had to blow itself up and take him alone, or just let, you know, the blast just engulf 17 and, you know, run the risk of having Goku and Vegeta, running a huge risk of having Goku and Vegeta blown up. So I don't understand why they don't think like that, but hey, it is what it is, man. They can't have that series end like that. They gotta milk this shit for a few more episodes. So I ain't like that shit, man. I ain't like that shit at all. Now, another thing I didn't like that literally came out of nowhere in the cutscene was very out of place, is Jiren's backstory. Now, I have to say that nobody gives a fuck anymore. It's been like 30 episodes and he's literally been standing there with his arms crossed for 29 of those episodes. So nobody really gives a fuck. And I know I'm exaggerating saying 29, but you know, I'm not being exact. Y'all know he's just been standing there with his arms crossed for like 90% of the tournament, not doing shit. So it is what it is, man. So now we get a backstory, and literally as soon as they said that his parents were killed by an evildoer, their words, I literally thought about Batman. But then it got worse. Apparently, you know, he got, you know, companions or whatever, and I guess he was like training them or some shit. And then the evildoer came back and killed everybody or some shit except for him. And then I guess like the people that survived turned their back on him or didn't trust him no more. So y'all know I'm a big fan of Yu Yu Hakusho, man. That's my favorite fighting anime. I was actually thinking about covering it on this channel eventually, but that's neither here nor there. Now, that is literally a direct rip to Goro's backstory, man. Tagoro literally has a very similar, not word by word, but it's literally almost like not identical twins, but paternal twins. Yeah, if I said that word right. You know what I'm saying? That's how similar the story is. So it's like, dog, man, y'all had all this time and that's what y'all come up with. I could easily come up with one off the fly about how he got powerful and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I really don't like Jiren, and at the same time, like, I don't like him. I have no reason to like him. Like there's nothing original about him. Like his design's boring as shit. He's just a gray alien, a gray buff alien in a spandex uniform that glares at people and stops their attacks. Nothing works on this man. And like the thing is, alright, man, people be like, well, you know, all the other villains, they were really powerful, and you know, you didn't get really bored with that, or blah 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 blah. Yeah, they were powerful, but they weren't too powerful. For instance, I'm gonna walk y'all through the main villains. For instance, with Frieza, he was more powerful than all of them before Goku turned Super Saiyan, right? But then Goku pulled out that spirit bomb, right? And then Frieza panicked. You know what I'm saying? There was like a little bit of like a kink in his armor, like this man could be defeated. Like, it was exciting, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, knowing somebody you can't defeat and they're fighting them, it's just like, and you see them using everything they got and they can't beat this dude, and it's just getting old at that point, you feel me? So Frieza didn't have that problem. Cell didn't have that problem for the simple fact that, you know, he really wasn't made to be all that much more powerful than everybody. You know, he was just pretty much made to be more powerful than a Super Saiyan. Now with Boo, he had like a very weak body. When I say weak body, I mean if they shot anything at him, it would go through him and he had to regenerate type shit. But because of that, you could actually be like, okay, well, he has like really good regeneration, but you know, there's gotta be a way to beat this guy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like an attack big enough. And then with Jiren, it's all like, no matter what the fuck they do, man. No matter what they do. And on top of that, he don't have a personality. With Frieza, he had that arrogant, you know, rich, you know, spoiled brat personality. With Cell, he was obsessed on being perfect. You know what I'm saying? He was so obsessed with being perfect. He didn't want no flaws in his being at all. With Boo, he had several personalities. Fat Boo was childish and took everything as like a joke, and then threw temper tantrums. Super Boo, he was more, before he absorbed everybody, he was more like a, how could I describe him? He was Kid Boo with sense. Like, he still was dangerous and shit, but he had like a brain. He was Kid Boo if he didn't have a brain. Kid Boo was just bad crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like, what my point is, they had something that made them interesting. And I'm not even gonna touch on their attachments. That's not what this video is about. It's just with Jiren, there's nothing interesting about him. His attacks is boring. You know what I'm saying? Like, they try to like give him like a little flame aura, but it's like nobody gives a fuck at this point, man. Nobody cares. So yeah, man, like, I guess like alright thing was that the exposition wasn't all that bad, you know, in this episode. But man, overall, man, the episode was pretty much some BS, man. It was pretty much some BS. And I couldn't have been the only person laughing when 17 locked fists with Jiren, and then Jiren having like an emotional breakdown. It's all like, nigga, he didn't even say much. He just basically said, 17 was just like, oh, so you're a human too, or something like that. And Jiren just went off. Oh man, the dialogue is just so hilarious, man. The dialogue is so fucking hilarious. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I gotta say about the episode, man. You know, it just wasn't good to me, man. It just wasn't good. Things didn't really make sense as usual. And you know, 17 self-destructed without a bomb. But it is what it is, man. And then, you know, they say self-destruct so Jiren can stay in the tournament again. Jiren, man, not only is he freakishly powerful, but he also has like the best plot shielding ever. And that shit is wild too, man. That shit is so fucking wild. But I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, not the episode. The series gonna be over pretty soon anyway. And everybody gonna rejoice, man. I know I'm gonna rejoice. But yeah, man, Dark Enigma out.